Hello everyone, this is Dr. Dan from Access Analog, and today we're going to go through one of the features that not many people know about, but it's critical for some of our main features like the standalone application and playback from the server, which is something I'm doing right now. I'm playing back this file directly from the server, and also for our standalone application. This feature is called the cloud storage, and the cloud storage is critical to all of those. So we thought we would make a video about the cloud storage, how to use it optimally, a few tips and tricks so that everybody knows how to use it. So the first thing that you need to know is if you're going to do any of those type of operations, the offline bounce or standalone app, for example, you need to have files loaded in channel 1 and 2 on the source tab. That's where the audio is played from, or in a bounce case, that's where it's bounced from. So there are 4 ways to get files into channel 1 and 2, or just channel 1 if you're doing a mono track. The ... is pretty obvious. You can just click on this and it will upload the file. The second one is you can do a drag and a drop. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to just pick a file. I'm going to drag and drop it. That's the one I prefer to do. It gets uploaded. And a tip for you, if you know you're going to be processing a lot of files and you don't want to have to wait while they all upload, especially if you're holding gear in your rack, then you can do a large upload, a bulk upload, where I'm going to grab a few of these and just drag them, drop them into the source, and you'll see that they all get queued up and they will all be uploaded one by one. And so then they'll be ready to use in the future, and I'll show you how that works in here just a second. So that takes me to the third way that you can get a file loaded into channel 1 and 2 is this recents button, the arrow, circle arrow with the watch hands in the middle. It will show the 10 most recent files that were just uploaded, and that comes from your source directory on the cloud. So I could pick one of these like clip 4, and that will come directly from the cloud. And that way I don't have to wait for it to upload again, like I said, especially if I'm holding gear. And so now I'm ready to go with the equipment and I'm ready to play. So that's the third way. The fourth way is a little bit more esoteric. It's this import from bounces. We've had people ask us and say, hey, I want to rebounce an already bounced file. So you can see on my list here, I've got these 3 bounced files. If I go to the source and I click this import from bounce, it allows me to select one of those files to then get loaded into the channels 1 and 2. So that's the fourth way to be able to do that. So once you've got your files in the cloud, then you want to use them. A tip that I will let you know about is once they've been uploaded, like we saw with the circle arrow and the watch hands, we remember those, and if you try to upload one of those again, it's not going to come from your computer. It's going to come directly from the cloud storage. So we remember the things that have already been uploaded, and we'll pull from there first before doing an upload. So that's a little quick tip to get things going more quickly. Now let me talk a little bit about a couple rules that go along with these the cloud storage. One of them is this checkbox, which is very powerful. If you leave this checkbox on, then when you do a disconnect and a reconnect, all your files are going to still stay in your cloud storage. However, we have some users that would like to just delete all the files, know that all the files are deleted when their session ends, so they uncheck this box. When they do that, and then they disconnect, I'm not going to do that because I want to keep my files, then all those files will be deleted and removed. So be careful with that. Know what you're doing when you uncheck it. But the other thing will be is that we have in the cloud storage, we'll keep up to 50 files, and we keep those up to 30 days. So once the 30-day mark hits for a file, we will delete it. Or if you get above 50 files, then we'll delete the oldest file. So something to think about, that there is an upper limit, but so far nobody has hit that upper limit that we know about. So now let me move on to the bounce tab, because the bounce tab also uses the cloud storage. That's where the bounced files go, is into the cloud storage. So once you bounce a file, it comes to this directory. You can download it again if you'd like. If you want more information about how to do the bounces, you can watch the offline bounce video. But one little trick to know is that if you double click on this, after the bounce, you can change the file name. Some people like to change it to something a little bit more meaningful than what they started with, where the source the bounce file name is based on what the source file name, and then we just append a B1 or B2 depending on bounce 1, bounce 2, bounce 3. So they'll change that name. Again, you have this checkbox that if you uncheck it, then those files will go away when you disconnect. So that's it for the cloud storage. It's the high level. If you have any questions about it, shoot me an email, dan@accessanalog. And as we like to say at Access Analog, from our racks to your tracks, Access Analog.